coming to you live from Diniwid, Barangay Balabag, Boracay Island in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee here, my Copico Blanca, delicious 3-in-1 coffee. This is my favorite 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. 3-in-1 coffee, it's a mixture of coffee, sugar, and cream. And this one is creamier. It even says here, it's so creamy. Copico Blanca. The weather here in Boracay has been great. Yesterday, no rain at all yesterday. Nothing but sunshine yesterday. I actually filmed a couple of videos yesterday on Diniwid Beach. It was just amazing. Turquoise water on Diniwid Beach, sunshine, not many people on Diniwid Beach. It was just amazing. I was like, I'm glad that the weather finally is like sunshiny again. We've been getting rain off and on, but it doesn't linger. It doesn't stay like for the whole day. Let me talk about the weather here in the Philippines. It looks like no weather conditions in the Philippines regarding the Philippine Area of Responsibility. The PAR is what they call it here, PAR. The only thing affecting the Philippines is the monsoon, southwest monsoon. That is habagat. Habagat is the monsoon season. So that's where the rain sometimes come, downpour. But usually it'll downpour, then it'll be gone. It'll be back to a sunshiny weather. It says here, pretty much the whole entire Philippines is just being affected by the monsoon. Zambales, Bataan, Occidental Mindoro, Palawan, Metro Manila. Says here for Metro Manila, localized thunderstorms. But nothing here to say about our area, Western Visayas. So looks like we're on the clear again today. My good friend Michael from 13 Martires in Cavite, we were texting this morning. He is coming to Boracay today. So I'm excited. I'm excited to finally meet my good friend Michael. Me and him have been communicating for a while now. So he's excited to come. So I'm excited to see him. It's going to be a fun day today, meeting Michael finally. Michael is originally from Chicago. And then he settled in Manila. And then after Manila, he decided 13 Martires, looking for something more quieter in 13 Martires. What's up, Ginno? Hey, Charlie, that's from Boston, my friend in Boston. All right. Hey, man, when I see Boston, I always think of my good friend Leo. He's one of my closest friends. We've been friends, Leo and I, we've been closest friends for like over 40 years. We came into the military at the same time, had our first assignment, George Air Force Base in Victorville, California. I was 17 years old. Leo was 18 years old. We were just young pups back then. So shout out to my good friend Leo in Boston. Gavin P, what's up? What's up, Gavin P, my good friend in Australia. Good morning from Brisbane. I'll have to remember that. I didn't want to shout out the location in Australia. I know you're in Australia, but now I'll try to remember. Brisbane, Australia. I am doing good. Good morning, Gavin P. JB Manalang, another subscriber from Australia. Hey JB, good morning, Ginno and Dazel. Your live is right on schedule. Hey, that's all right, man. I try to do the live streams this early because of the Wi-Fi. I use the Airbnb Wi-Fi here, and I found like at 5 a.m. when everybody's still asleep, I can do a live stream. But like yesterday, we unfortunately we got cut off, and I apologize for that. But that's what happens once everybody starts waking up. They start logging on the Wi-Fi, and it lowers the Mbps, and it cuts out our live stream. So hopefully we can at least get an hour and a half, hopefully, on this live stream this morning. Edgar, hey, good morning, Edgar. Good morning, Edgar. Bruce Jones, hey, good morning, Bruce. All right. Dazel is still sleeping, of course. She's actually still feeling under the weather. I got her the bio flu here. She's taking that. She's resting, got a lot of fluids. She's just been sleeping all day and then watching Netflix when she's awake. But it's been a couple of days now since we got back really from Rojas City. She's had like a slight fever, nothing high fever. She actually said yesterday she was ready to go out, and I told her no, baby. And it's like you still, I felt her, and she was still felt warm. So told her to rest some more. Hi, hello. Elbowcito, number 7, JB. Hello, Chad. Hey, Gavin. Sydney. All right, now see, I know Gavin Peace in Brisbane and JB is in Sydney. All right. Ooh, a lot of people saying hi. Danny Elescas. Hello. Elijah Mills. All right. Thank you so much. I'm glad everybody's joining the live stream. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. JB Manalang, hey, you weren't lying. That Rib Shack look good. I'll check it. Oh man, the Rib Shack. I think the Rib Shack is like it's up there. I mean, for fast food. I mean, and for the price. I mean, you really can't beat it. And then, like I said, my favorite is that Korean spicy chicken. Now, let me warn you now, it is spicy because my mouth was on fire after I ate that. But it kind of like encourages you to eat more rice, And then I'm glad I had the cucumber lemonade because it was on fire. But I like it. I love spicy food, so it's kind of like one of those things. It's kind of like a good taste on your mouth, but you got that heat. I'm glad they had that Dairy Queen to cool my mouth off after perfect dessert. And it's right. I mean, they're like so close to each other after you eat at the Rib Shack. Maybe like 3 stores down is the Dairy Queen. So perfect. My New York cheesecakes got that strawberry chunks of cheesecake. Oh, and somebody had asked, I hadn't answered it yet on the comments, if Dairy Queen and Dunkin Donuts taste the same in the US. Exactly the same. I'm sure they import the milk, everything, the ingredients from Dairy Queen. Same thing with Dunkin Donuts. It's exactly the same Dairy Queen I used to have. That's that when the guy flipped that thing, he like showing it off that it's like nice and thick. It's not all melting and anything like that. But oh man, Rib Shack. I'm glad they're opening one in Calibo. We're gonna have a Rib Shack in Calibo at the Grand Gaisano Mall. Ruben, my friend Ruben, before he left for Dumaguete, he said that it's almost open. He can tell. It's like it says they're opening soon, and he could see. Next time I go to the Grand Gaisano, I will check it out, and that's gonna be, man, massive lines in Calibo when that place opens, because you mentioned that free unlimited rice. Forget about it. It's gonna be like Filipinos gonna be lining up for a free unlimited rice. And Sergeant USA, Sergeant Daniel, my good friend Daniel in Jacksonville, Florida. Good morning. Hey Daniel, we're hoping Dazel feels better today, because she does want to eat the buffet, but hopefully tonight she's better. She's actually been watching the buffets on her phone. And she's actually leaning towards the Henan buffet, Daniel, because the Mandarin Bay, Mandarin resort, the Mandarin, they cater more to like meat, she noticed. And Dazel's not a big meat eater. Prime rib, they had lamb, and she was looking at the menu of their buffet. Dazel go, they're leaning towards more meat items. Maybe that's why they're expensive, because meat is expensive in the Philippines, especially like lamb or prime rib. You know, you won't see it. But she's looking at the Henan. Henan and Mandarin, they're kind of like the competition as far as the buffet. And the Henan buffet is seafood buffet. Crab, shrimp, mussels, oysters. So that's what's, telling me, I kind of want to go to the Henan. Well, I'm allergic to a lot of seafood, unfortunately, Daniel, but I'm sure they'll have something there on the menu that I can eat. I'm sure they'll have pasta or something like that that doesn't have any seafood, or fish. I can still eat fish. I'm allergic to shellfish now. I'm allergic to even squid. I'm allergic to squid. Oyster is terrible, Daniel. It's like I used to love eating all. That's why one of the things I love eating here in the Philippines. But it is what it is because of my immune system. The chemotherapy messed up my immune system. So now I'm allergic. I really have to watch it. Especially seafood. I'm allergic to a lot of seafood. Oh, right. Oh, that's right. It's evening time over there. It's evening time. Hey, balikbayan guy, my friend John. Good morning, Ginno. I like the rib place video. Looks like an affordable, yes, very affordable. I mean, for what you get, and plus how fresh it is, because it's open kitchen, so they can't hide, how they prepare it. Everybody got gloves, that's why I think a lot of restaurants are doing that now here in the Philippines, that open kitchen where people can watch how people handle their food, because some people are particular on, you hear these horror stories about fast food and restaurants. So I think that's a thing now here in the Philippines, how they display where they they cook your food, they assemble your food, it's like the hygiene, the cleanliness part, they're like promoting that here now in the Philippines. Yes. Actually, Dessa was telling me yesterday she already felt good, but I told her better rest up yesterday. So hopefully today she's feeling better already. HD, make sure Dessa gets some sunlight that she needs. She hasn't been out of our Airbnb, so I'll tell her to walk outside with me later, get some of that vitamin D. It's not there, but she has orange juice. I got her orange juice, Pocari Sweat, and I got her Lugao. She's eating right, resting right. So, but it is what how it is with cold. Usually it just has to run its course. But definitely today, I'm sure she wants to walk out outside of the Airbnb today anyway, because the last 2 days she said she got to get out of the Airbnb. So I'm sure today she's gonna want to like walk outside at least. What's up, HD? Sending. Oh, thank you, Ray, my good friend in Sacramento, California. She's okay, Ray, and she's just resting. It's she's still in good spirits. Just watching her Netflix, getting plenty of rest, plenty of fluids, making sure she's. I've gotten her lomi, I've gotten her lugao. Making sure plenty of soup. Hydrating herself. In the Northeast and Massachusetts and all that, there's so many Dunkin Donuts. Hey, there's so many Dunkin Donuts here in our province, in Aklan province, in Kalibo alone. I'm counting 1, 2, 3. 3 Dunkin Donuts in Kalibo. And Kalibo is just a town. It's not even a city. So Filipinos love Dunkin Donuts. There's a version of Dunkin Donut here in the Philippines called Mr. Donut, but I'm Dunkin Donut, man. Dunkin Donut just tastes better. I'm not big on donuts, but when I do eat it, I've noticed the Mr. Donut, the Philippine version. a lot of times it's kind of dry. You know, it's not as good. Dunkin' Donuts is still better. And also, if you go to Iloilo City, like when I go to Iloilo City, SM City Iloilo, they have Krispy Kreme there. And same thing, it tastes exactly the same Krispy Kreme. They even have like a lot of choices. But a lot of Filipinos, and I can't blame them, the donut that they really like here over at SM City Iloilo is called the J-Co, like J, capital J, C-O, like J Company or something, J-Co. That donut, that's good donut. Man. That's a good donut. I've had that. I've had like their matcha donut. That was delicious. They make a lot of donuts with the inside, like that jelly-filled donut. I like me some jelly-filled donut once in a while. You know, everything in moderation, you know. I live in a neighborhood where there's five in the town near me. And they're directly each other. Hey, I guess people love donut, man. You know, it's like same thing here in the Philippines. When you go to Dunkin' Donuts here, it's busy. I do like the coffee at Dunkin' Donut here in the Philippines. They even have at the supermarket. I was surprised one day. They even have a creamer now, like the liquid creamer that's Dunkin' Donuts. I was like, wow, they got that. They're selling that now here. I haven't bought one yet, you know, but I'm still sticking to my 3-in-1 because, you know, I'm frugal. You know. I looked at the price of that creamer. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. I guess because Dunkin' Donut, you know, it's imported. It's an American product, you know, so it's kind of like McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts. Those are higher price than the local version. Like McDonald's is more expensive than Jollibee here. And I know it's opposite in the US. In the US, I'm sure Jollibee is more expensive than McDonald's. And Mr. Donut is cheaper than Dunkin' Donut. Dunkin' Donut probably is the higher end of donuts here in the Philippines. Good to see you. Good to see you, John. Balik ba? Good morning, Kuya Ginno. Good morning. Good morning. Vegas will. If you eat shellfish, what happens? Do you get itchy all over? When I eat shellfish, my lips swell up, my mouth swells up, you know, so it's, you know, I'm not gonna take any chance, you know. I don't want to go into the anaphylactic shock or anything like that, but I don't. I always watch it now because even in pancit, sometimes they sneak in shrimp in pancit. So when I get something, I'm always looking for shrimp. You know, it's like giving it, or I don't even eat pancit that I ask, you know, whether they put shrimp on it. And then when we make pancit in the house, we don't put shrimp. Dazel still eats a lot of seafood. You know, she'll buy like a kilo of shrimp, you know, like prawns, big prawns. And Leanna's also allergic to shrimp. So Leanna and I'd be like looking at Dazel, like watching her eat it, you know. But we let her, you know, because you know, it's not her fault that we're both allergic to shellfish. I don't get itchy. But I get red. You know, it's like I notice my neck, my face, you know, I get red, you know. I have this, here in the Philippines, they have Citrusin. Citrusin is kind of like the allergy medicine that people take. And also my good friend Gray, before he left, he gave me the American version. So I have a couple. I always carry it with me. I always carry it in my backpack or I have a fanny pack where I carry my GoPro. It's the GoPro fanny pack. So I always have Citrusin there, and then the medicine that Gray gave me. That way, if I react, because one time I made a mistake. You know, we went to the Mandarin restaurant. And Leanna had ordered calamaris, and she was eating it, but she was okay with calamari. She didn't react. But me, so you know, I wasn't even paying attention because, like, you know, sometimes I wasn't even thinking. I guess because it had breading, and we were all eating good. And I just say, hey, let me try that. So I tried one, and I took a bite. The next thing I know, my lips were all like getting swollen. I was like, ooh, I better not finish this calamari, man. I better not eat calamari again. What kind of fish can I eat? I've been able to eat like dory fish, anything like white fish I can eat. I notice like I don't have problem when I eat like fish fry, like when they have the breaded fish, beer batter fish with French fries. I haven't reacted to that, so that's a good thing because I like me some fish and chips. There's a fish here in the Philippines that I like. Dazel doesn't like it. It's mackerel. Mackerel. They here in the province is called aloy. They have it, aloy here in Aklan. It's mackerel, and it's got the darker meat. The darker meat. I like it because there's not many bones on it. You know, I like my fish where I don't have to like pick bones out of it. So far I can eat fish. I'm okay with fish. I haven't reacted, but I always carry that Citrusin. I'll carry that medicine just in case. I'm just looking forward to trying Pandisal. Pandisal. I haven't had Pandisal since I've been here in Boracay because I haven't found a malunggay, my cheese malunggay Pandisal. I've had bread. I've had bread because my landlord, the landlord here, Rosalie, she's so kind. She gave me like a whole loaf of wheat bread. So I've been eating wheat bread, you know. But when I get back, that's what I figure. When I get back to Numancia, and we're only gonna be here, we're down to our last 4 days. So Pandisal, yeah, Pandisal. JB Pandisal and it's the best. The malunggay, Pandisal is just awesome because especially when you get them right out of the oven, still warm. I like him like toasted, you know, kind of like almost crusty, like crunchy on the top, and then in the inside like really moist, not dense. I don't like it. See, when the Pandisal cools off, it shrinks, and then the middle part gets kind of chewy. That's why I like it when it's like fresh out of the oven. Nothing beats it. Nothing beats it when it's like fresh out of the oven. Welcome to Rabu. Is there? Oh no, I don't even have a TikTok. Why are you so CPAG going? CPAG means hardworking on the life. Really, just because I have time here in Diniwid while we're here, and it seems like people seem to be happy about the live streams. People are joining the live stream, but I don't have a TikTok account. The only thing I do social media wise, I have YouTube and I have Facebook. Those are the only. And my Facebook is even private, you know, because at one time I had it public, and I was just getting so many requests and for so many people, so I turned it back to private. But we do have a Dazel TV like Facebook page, and that's it. I don't do TikTok. I don't do I guess X, the other stuff. Instagram. I don't do any of that. I have enough. YouTube already keeps me busy. Bree extremely happy to join that in eating shrimp and shell. I know, Daniel. I know you'll be happy, you know. I know it would not hurt your feelings to eat all seafood with Dazel. Probably better if you grill them. Yeah, you know, anything fish, as long the two things, as long as I like the fish and chips when they're fried, and I also like them grilled. You know, it's like those are the two ways I like. But I don't like picking bones. When it's a whole fish, you know, I rather that they fillet the fish already. I don't have patience to like, you know, be picking bones and worried about like biting into fish bone. Oh yeah, ube pandesal. That's another good thing. You know, it's like they put cheese in the middle too. Lots of cheese usually on the ube pandesal. Yeah, my favorite place, Joni's, doesn't make it in Numancia. They only make cheese malunggay cheese, but another place where I can get ube pandesal. It's like a dessert. It is like a dessert. It is like, it's sweet. You know, ube pandesal is sweet. It's delicious. It's delicious. I can eat more of the regular pandesal than ube pandesal because I guess because of the sugar in the ube, it's too sweet. I can only eat maybe two at a time. And then usually they load it up with cheese. They put a lot of cheese on it. Mama and baby are doing well. Yep, Vegas Will just had a baby, so I'm sure the baby is keeping them busy. Oh, I mean YouTube. Oh, no worries. Welcome. Um, I'll just keep doing it because it's not, I'm on vacation here in Boracay Island. We've been here almost 30 days now. That's why I have time. Dazel, she normally doesn't get up till like 10 a.m. because she stays up late, watches Korean drama, Netflix till like midnight, past midnight. So I have time in the morning. That's why. And I try to do everything YouTube wise, like early in the morning. Even the videos, I'll walk after this live stream. I'll do video because by before 10, I like to be done with YouTube for the day. That way, Dazzle just can enjoy the day. I know how to separate our life and YouTube. I don't ever want YouTube to like absorb our life, and I've told Dazzle that. So it's like that's why more and more you're seeing our videos. It's more me now. I try not to like because it became like work for Dazzle. She doesn't mind doing the thumbnails. She does the thumbnails. She helps me doing editing the videos. But I don't, it started to become a work for Dazzle, and I don't want her, for me, YouTube is fun, and I want to keep it that way. And since it started becoming work for Dazzle, I don't want YouTube to affect our relationship. So I know how to handle things. I'm pretty good at like separating YouTube. Dazzle's always number one priority. My family's always number one priority. YouTube is more like a hobby for me. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy meeting people. I'm an extrovert. I think you guys can tell that. It's like I love having fun, especially now, after my battle with cancer. It's like I don't postpone anything anymore. Anything I do, I let loose now. It's like I do karaoke with friends. When I was at the Canadian Beaver, I was dancing. It's just for me. It's like I just want to live life. I want to live my best life. Oh, and today's a special day for me just because today, June 26th, was my ring the bell for cancer. June 26, 2023 was my last day of treatment, my last day of radiation treatment. And after your last day, you ring a bell. That's I guess tradition for cancer people that go through cancer, and that's considered that you're done with treatments. And then ever since then, I've had no cancer. All of my screening, all of my MRIs, I had a few now, at least 6 MRIs or even more, and blood work, everything showing I'm cancer free. So today marks 2 years for me of being cancer free. So I'm blessed. I'm like thankful all the time for all the people supporting me, all the people always sending prayers to me. I appreciate them. I'm thankful to be alive, and I'm just gonna enjoy it, however long this life's gonna be, because I know nothing's guaranteed. Cancer can come back to me at any time, but I just want to live my life to the fullest now, just enjoying every day. That's why I always like getting up in the morning. I like doing this live stream. I like my morning walks. It's like I just appreciate everything now. I think you guys can understand that when you go through something like a life and death situation, it changes you. It changes your perspective about everything in life. But I'm blessed and I'm thankful. I'm really thankful for getting a second chance almost, Even the last 2 years, just recovering still from cancer, because the recovery period, I was told, is 2 years for cancer. And I found out it is 2 years. It takes time for you to start feeling right and start feeling normal again. It's like radiation and chemo treatments, they're brutal. They're like damage everything in your body, you know. Everything doesn't feel right, you know. I had so many symptoms after my treatments, but I just kept pushing through, and I'm thankful for everyone's support, everybody's prayers, you know. I'm always going to be grateful for that. We are great. We are great. Good to hear. Good to hear, Vegasville. I'm glad to hear. I know there's a lot of sports in the Philippines, but what's the most popular one? And what? Oh, that's easy. That's easy, Charlie Lats. Filipinos are like obsessed. They are obsessed with basketball. Basketball is like the number one sport here in the Philippines. Basketball is played everywhere. Covered pretty much all towns or all play like in the Allan province, we have 17 municipalities, basically 17 towns, and each town has a basketball court, cement on the floor, because you know wood floors is expensive and cost maintenance, but cement floor and covered court, and all that. Basketball is always played fiesta. During fiesta, there's basketball tournaments always going on. There's a Philippine Basketball Association, their own league here in the Philippines, Pro Basketball League here. Even here in Diniwid, I was like, I'm gonna try to film it before I leave. I tried to film it the other day, but it was kids playing, and I'm always, you know, I don't want to like show kids on video because I don't want YouTube getting in trouble with YouTube. But I'm waiting for adults to play on the basketball court here, because the basketball court is made of dirt. I mean, they just kind of like smooth out the dirt. You can kind of see areas of the dirt, like has grass even. Full court. It's got like 2 full court basketball. And the people playing, they're playing in flip-flops, in slippers, and some of them bare feet on like soil, brown soil. And they're just hooping on brown soil, full court. I'm like, I'll have to, I'm hoping, I'll catch them when the adults are playing, so I can at least film a little bit of it and show that to you guys. Here in the Niwid, it's like but basketball is like the favorite here. For me, I do love basketball, but I'm such a Laker fan, so for me, I love my Lakers, but once they out of the playoffs, I lose interest. Same thing, I'm a Dodger fan, like a die-hard Dodger fan. So, you know, those are the two teams that I follow. It's like the Lakers and the Dodgers. Because when I came to the United States, I landed in Los Angeles. That's where I landed. My first 8 years, my first 8 years in the United States was in Los Angeles. I graduated high school from Long Beach Wilson in Long Beach, California. So the Dodgers and the Lakers, or the Rams at one time, I was a fan, but I kind of lost interest when they went to St. Louis. I know they're back in LA, but they broke my heart when they left for St. Louis. So I haven't gotten over it yet. But I do support them because they're an LA team and all that. But Lakers and the Dodgers, you know, it's like those are the two teams that I really follow. I love both baseball and I love basketball. I would say I probably lean towards basketball, but because I used to play basketball. I never played baseball. I played softball, but I never got into because they didn't have it here growing up in the Philippines. We didn't have baseball here. They had softball here, I remember. That's why I played a little bit softball when I was a kid here. But mostly everybody here now plays basketball. All the kids here play basketball. And everybody, all Filipinos here, I think most of them are like Stephen Curry fans. You know, all the kids, when I watch them play here, they're like jacking up threes from everywhere. You know, I guess that's the NBA now. That's the NBA game now. It's like shooting as many threes as you can. Drinking is the most. They're drinking. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue with that, JB. Filipinos love to drink. You know, I mean, even here in Diniwid, here in Boracay, period, but Diniwid, a lot of the people here in Diniwid, Barangay Balabag, they work here in Boracay. They work at the hotels, but a lot of people that work island hopping tour, they own boats. They own boats here, and it's a common thing here. Come around 6 p.m., about 6 p.m. when sunset, after sunset, the Sari Starry stores here in Barangay Balabag here in Diniwid, all the Sari stores, the Kuya and the Manongs, they're like sitting, drinking their Red Horse, because they bring out the Sari stores, they all bring out these barbecue sticks, barbecue pork, chicken, the chicken intestine, the isaw, chicken gizzards, chicken liver, and they barbecue it and then put some sauce on it, and then people just drink Red Horse beer and eat the barbecue stick. I see that coming down every time I walk from City Mall Boracay down here to the Airbnb. I at least 4 or 5 sari stores that have that going on. That's a common activity. Like JB Manalang saying, it's a popular sport. If you can call it a sport, drinking and eating a barbecue. Red Horse is very popular, for sure, JB. For sure. Oh, yesterday, on my walk to Diniwid Beach, Allan, one of our subscribers, and me and him chat, like a lot of subscribers, like when they contact me, if anybody contact me, you'll find out that I communicate. It's like I'm WhatsApp or Messenger. I'll say hello, hey, what's up? I'll do video chat. And Allan, I've met him a while back. He comes here to the Philippines. Allan is married to a Filipina. He comes to the Philippines because he works, I think, for Verizon Telecommunications, and he goes to Manila and does work in Manila. So he was just here, but I would say about a month ago, less than a month ago. His wife's Filipina, and his wife's uncle, his name is Roger. He works here in Diniwid. He has his own boat, and he does island hopping tour here in Diniwid. He even has like a tarpaulin. Tarpaulin is kind of like a waterproof poster. And he has it on the beach. He has it plastered on one of the rocks on the beach. And it says there, Roger, boat owner, and his number. And he's got activities that you can, island hopping, helmet diving, parasailing, you name it. Any activity, any water activity, Roger can help you. And I'm finally, because I've been looking for him on Diniwid, but I guess he's busy because, he's doing the touring people. I finally caught him. Yesterday. I took a picture of him. I even filmed him a little bit. I'll include him on the video once I edit the video. But I'm happy that I finally, and I sent Allan, I sent a photo of Uncle, and and I told him, hey, I finally met him. It's like, but that was really cool because I've been looking for him. I saw his sign, but I could never catch him. Allan one time he said, Ginno, I saw the uncle in my uncle in one of your videos. Oh, you did? So I watched the video, and he described like what shirt. Oh, the light came out. The light came out here. So it's on automatic timer. So I got this thing that Dazel bought for me for Father's Day. My Father's Day gift from Dazel here. Now I can use it. That way you guys can still see me. It's not so dark here. Because these lights here in the balcony, they're on a timer. All right. So I'm glad I finally met Roger with the help of Allan, because Allan told me, oh, I saw him in your video, Ginno. He's wearing like Stuzy shirt or something. And I said, oh, okay. So I watched the video, and I screenshot the picture, so I knew who I was looking for finally. So I finally met Roger yesterday. Since you don't like fish with bones, B make a challenge video deboning a milkfish. I don't know about I don't know if Dazel knows how to do that. Deboning fish. Usually when Dazel buys bangus, the milkfish, it's already deboned. I know it's already deboned. But Dazzle and Mom, when we get back to our house in Numancia, they do plan on cooking and making videos. They're gonna make it like this, members only, just because Dazzle, she doesn't take criticism well. Some viewers are not kind with criticism. Me, you can criticize me all you want. It won't hurt my feelings, man. Because I was in the military 20 years. I was active duty United States Air Force for 20 years. So nothing you can tell me will offend me. It's like, it might offend me inside, but you're not gonna know that you offended me. I know how to hide my feelings. Because we had to in the military. In the military, we used to be, you had to stand up and take stuff from your superiors. You get yelled at, you get cussed at in front of other people. And nothing you can say, because if you open your mouth, it's gonna get you in more trouble. Or you can't deflect. You can't say, "Oh, it wasn't my fault." It was, no excuses in the military. You just took the pain. And I know most of my military veterans know what I'm talking about. Charlie Lance, God bless you and your family. Thank you so much. Thank you for that, my friend. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, that's why when I see people, people have contacted me. I've like given words of encouragement when people contact me that they're battling cancer. I know exactly what they're going through, and I'm there to support anybody. And if you contact me, if you have a family member or you yourself going through cancer, contact me. I'll be happy to share my experience and assist you, guide you, give you advice on how to deal with cancer, because it's no joke. It's no joke, man. Cancer is it's brutal. Cancer treatments are like the worst, man. Congrats, Ginno, on being cancer-free. Wishing you and praying you will continue to be blessed. Thank you. And that's the thing, man. That's why, my goal, like I've mentioned so many times on the live stream, my goal now is just to do good and be good, because after what I went through with my treatments, with cancer recovery, the past basically 2.5 years, it's like, I just want to do good and be good, hopefully earn me some points, and I just want to live a good life. I want to be I want to be a blessing to people, because I know many people had supported me through my journey with cancer, my battle with cancer. People had supported me, people prayed for me, and I appreciate that. That's why now, I just want to give back. Happy anniversary. That's a new one, brother. Shane, my good friend Shane, 2D Hood Farms. That's a new one, anniversary. That's funny. I'm so happy for you and everyone you touch after what you have been through. The Lord has planned in place. Yeah, I believe that. I believe there's everything happens for a reason. I think what happened to me, I don't look at, I never was I always look at things positive. It's all love. I understand, man. I understand. It's all, sports to me, it's like, I love sports. I love the Lakers. I love the Dodgers, but I'm not one of those fans that get in, that get crazy. It's like, I can support other teams. I've worn my good friend Robbie in Moalboal. He's a Celtics fan. He's from Rhode Island. He bought me a Jason Tatum jersey. I have a Jason Tatum jersey, and I wear it. I wear it all the time because because it was given to me by a friend. So I'm like, of course I would wear it. I would wear the shirt. I'm not one of those get fanatical with sports teams or anything like that. You know, it's like I like watching other players, other teams. Like I became a Jason Tatum fan because when he won the championship, I was happy for him because I remember watching him when he was at Duke. You know, I remember his college when he got drafted. To me, it's like it's silly when people get so like mean or you know when it comes to sports. Kuya Ginno, how did you get to America? You got petitioned? No, I didn't get petitioned. My mom and I, we went 1978. We went to Los Angeles. You know, it's like, and then my mom married an American. You know, my mom married an American. So I was like 12 when we moved. So I was part of once my mom married Earl, my stepdad, you know. Once my mom married Earl, I got a green card. And then when I was 17, I joined the military because I wanted to become a United States citizen. And my recruiter told me that if I joined the military before I got out of the military, I would become a U.S. citizen. It did, you know. It's like after I joined the Air Force, it took 2 years. They had a special ceremony for us in Los Angeles, at Los Angeles Superior Court, and the judge actually was a vet too. It was a veteran, and he was really proud because that the swearing in ceremony, there was maybe 40 of us, and we were all military. We were all dressed. I was dressed in my service dress uniform, kind of like the suit in the military with my tie. And he was really proud to swear us in. I'll remember that ceremony to this day because it's like there was guys in the Navy, guys in the Marine Corps, Air Force, all the services were represented. And I got my citizenship in Los Angeles, California. Kevin Shores. Hi, Ginno and Dazel. All right, Kevin Shores. Ray, hey Ray, my good friend in Sacramento, California. I notice you are very organized and you know how to prioritize your daily life. Yes. I think the military just prepared me for everything that happened in my life. Even my battle with cancer, I think the military prepared me for that because, you know, in the military, we were all disciplined. You took one task at a time. You never worried what will happen next week, next month, you know. And I took that approach when I was going through my chemo treatments, my radiation treatments. I was going one treatment at a time, focus on that, you know, concentrating that anybody that's gone through like radiation treatment, it's not easy. You have to like, for me, it was a head and neck cancer. So they had to plant me on this, they had to lay me down. I had to wear this mask. The mask was like, I couldn't move my head. And it only had a hole on my nose. So I had to breathe through my nose. And they actually had to button me. I had to lay down, they had to button me because I couldn't move my head because they have these lasers that they aim the radiation on my neck. You know, so you really have to relax yourself. If you're claustrophobic or anything like that, it's a lot worse than the MRI machine. To me now, it's easy. I can fall asleep on the MRI machine now. I have it so many times. But the radiation, you couldn't move and you're planted on the board. They button you on the board. You couldn't move your head at all for about 45 minutes to an hour. And so the whole time you're like focusing, trying to relax yourself, trying to think of good thoughts, and you know, while you're laying there. So I think, like I said, the military just prepared me for anything that would happen to me for the rest of my life. Because you know, everything in the military, we're so regimented, we're so organized, and again, with my life, you know, it's like I can do this. Like you can pretty much tell at 5 a.m. I'm already ready to go. I'm like fired up to ready to go on these live streams. And then once I'm done with the live stream, I'll do my morning walk, get my 1 hour of walk, and then come back, clean up whatever, get Dazel ready for lunch, make her lunch. I'm always been organized. Again, because of the military, they trained me right, my brother. They trained me right. Hi there, brother Ginno, Ariel. Oh, good morning, good morning, Ariel, from Houston, Texas. Ariel's in Houston, Texas, and I'm always praying for your wife, and I know she's also battling some health issues. Ariel, my sister is in Houston. My sister actually last December she had to get her pacemaker replaced, so she's still recovering because anything with the heart, that's not a and my sister's she's gonna be 69, so she's not we're not getting any younger, so any procedure like that, she said she's doing good. She's planning on visiting me here in the Philippines come January or February. The last time I saw my sister was she went to Iloilo City when I was going through my cancer treatment. So really miss my sister. I'm excited to see her again. Of course, that's my sister's really my only family that's really close to me that's in the U.S. and her kids. My sister's kids in the U.S. I love bangus with the bones. Oh man, I don't know about that, man. I don't, I avoid bangus, man. If it's bangus, milkfish, if it's deboned and they advertise boneless bangus, I'll eat that. I'll eat that. But man, you're brave, Bruce. You're brave with bones, man. I do not. I think because I had a bad experience with fish when I was a little kid. I remember having a bone stuck on my throat. I think I was like 7 or 8 years old here in the Philippines. And it got stuck on my throat, and my mom would make me eat banana. I mean, like banana after banana, but I was like, and it wouldn't go into the banana, couldn't dislodge the bone. So that was like I guess a traumatic experience for me. So that's why I'm particular, as far as fish. I always check, is there any bones on this fish before I eat it? JB, you're definitely living up to your mantra. Oh, thank you, JB. Appreciate that, my brother. Ariel Tumbukan, regards to Dazel. Oh, of course. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you. Wow, thanks, Kuya Ginno, for sharing that. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Vegas Will. My dad and I. Okay, it got cut off. Your statement got cut off. David Leggins, new privacy law, NPC. No, I haven't heard. I haven't heard. Maybe that's the new law. I keep hearing here in the Philippines, but there's always been privacy laws here in the Philippines regarding vlogging. So, I'm always respectful when I vlog. I don't make an effort to vlog people. As a matter of fact, I try to avoid vlogging people because I don't want to privacy of people, so it's not going to be hard for me to continue my vlogs without people, because most of the vlogs I do, I just walk by myself. I try to walk early when there's nobody around. See, even my videos you see in our subdivision, it's like people always tell me, is there anybody living in your subdivision? Because it's always so empty, because I don't make a point of filming people, because it's not everybody wants to be filmed. Not everybody wants to be filmed. My dad and I have been watching your YouTube. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your appreciate the support of our channel. Daniel, anyone who serves in the military 100% has earned the right to be a real American. Respect, my brother. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. Appreciate that. Lucita, my good friend in Maine. Lucita, now we're friends on Facebook, man. I sent you a friend request and Lucita accepted it. Now we're friends on Facebook. Now we can share. And you'll see, our life here. I'll see your life in Maine. Good morning. Hope all is well with you and Dazel. Another hot day here in Maine, and our swimming pool is so inviting. Oh yeah, yeah. I saw you guys like swimming in that lake. It looks like a lake. I saw that, Lucita. Here yesterday was a warm day. Morning time wasn't too bad. I was able to do my walk, breezy. It was nice. But around noontime, it got warm yesterday. So I'm thinking about this. I mean, there's a little bit of clouds this morning, but hopefully it'll burn off because my friend Michael's coming here from Trece Martires. So I'm gonna meet my friend. UBS, where are you from? Now I live here in Aklan province. I've been retired here in the Philippines for 14 years here in Aklan province. Before that, I was in the military, United States Air Force. So I traveled different bases in the U.S. and here in the Pacific. But now here in Aklan province. All right, Kevin 69. Hey man, it's amazing how time goes because like me, I'll be 59 here soon. You know, it's like August 1st is when I turn 59, and I can't even believe that it's been 14 years for me now here in the Philippines. It's amazing how time just flies by. I admire your courage, encouragement, and leadership. Oh, thank you, Bruce. And I'll continue. Oh, I'm getting messages. It's popping on my phone here from people saying hello to me. And I'll continue. You know, it's like I think that's the thing. You know, my motto, like I said, do good and be good. I just want to like, you know, the rest of my days on this earth, I just want to be a positive force. If I can help people, you know, I'm always willing to help. I actually was going to mention this on the live stream. There's a gentleman he's in California, and he contacted me the other day. I've had 2 video calls with him already. He wants to move here to the Philippines, but he's never been to the Philippines. So I'm trying to explain to him that's not an easy move, you know, that's a major move, major decision. He just keeps telling me that he's just, he wants a better life. He's social security age. The only thing I'm worried, you know, it's like, that's why I told him, me and him's got to communicate more. I got to understand what his objective here when he comes here, because I'm not one of those people that were like, hey, come to the Philippines, everything's good here, you're gonna have a great life here. I want to make sure that the person coming here will be successful in coming here. And the thing that worries me a little bit with him is his social security is not a big amount. You know, it would help if he was getting more social security. And then his savings, he divulged his savings to me. He doesn't have much savings. And then just from talking to him, he's still got that typical American thinking. And that's why the last time I video called with him, I was telling him, man, if you're retiring here in the Philippines with that small amount of social security and little savings, you got to have that mentality. You got to start being frugal here in the Philippines. You know, you have to start thinking, you know, get that American lifestyle. Because the very first thing he tells me, it's like, can I get a motorcycle there? I like my TV. Can I get a 55-inch TV? How much is a 55-inch TV? And I was just thinking, I was telling him, bro, that's kind of like the wrong mentality coming here trying to retire on a small budget. I was telling him, the first year that you're here, I was telling him the key that I always tell people when you retire, it's not how much money you bring into the Philippines. People are always saying, well, I got this so-and-so pension, I got all these 2-3 different pension. It's not how much money you bring in the Philippines. It's how much money you spend of that pension you're bringing in. I always tell people, you have to be putting away money, even though you're retired, even though you got this pension coming in. A good part of that pension every month should be savings, should be building up your nest egg or your emergency fund, because especially for someone in Social Security coming here to the Philippines, there is no Medicare in the Philippines. So you're going to pay out of pocket here in the Philippines for your medical care. And that could be, depending on the medical care, that could be expensive. That's why, everybody knows, I know, the thing that attracts them to the Philippines is the hospitality. The people are nice here. The rent is like what really gets people. They can't imagine, like a one bedroom, fully furnished apartment costing less than $200. And people are saying, in California, $200. There's no way. There's nothing like that in California. But it's not that easy of a move, is what I was trying to tell him. It's like, it's still important to live frugal when you get here, and also put away money for a rainy day, in case you got to fly back to the US for a medical procedure or something like that. But I'll talk to him more. He wants to like jump on a plane, like be here in October. And I was telling him, man, it's not that easy. You got to get your, he told me, I've been watching YouTube videos for a year. And when I start asking him, like, there's a lot of things that he didn't know about the Philippines. So I think I got to consult. I got to talk to him more. I got to explain like different things regarding tourist visa, housing, medical, I don't advise people to just jump on a plane, leave everything behind, and move to the Philippines, because especially if you're coming here on a tourist visa, you got to be careful while you're here on a tourist visa. You don't have the same rights as being in the United States. If you're on a tourist visa here, you gotta be in your best behavior. You can't be that guy like Vitali, that Russian American guy doing crazy things here in the Philippines, because they'll land you in jail pretty fast here. But I was just, I'll talk to him more. It's like I'll make sure that. And the bottom line, I just advise people. I don't charge anybody for my advice, for my recommendation. People just like picking my head is what they call it, getting ideas. But at the bottom line, people will still do what they're gonna do. It's like, all I can do is I can tell them, I don't think it's a good idea for you to come to the Philippines, but people are still coming. I know people are still coming without medical insurance, no Medicare. Not much savings, and they're coming to the Philippines. And to me, it's like, it's a risky thing to do. It's a risky thing to do. But I guess it's just they're adults. They're gonna make their own decisions. But I'm just trying to warn them about the things that could happen here. It depends whether or not you learn to eat bangus with bones. I choked on the bones many times, but eventually learned to eat bangus with bones. Oh, you too, HD, you eat the bangus with bones. You learn how bones are oriented, so you can pick them. Man, I'm nervous, man. I avoid bangus, man. I avoid bangus. If it's boneless, if it's like filleted, kind of flat looking, and they cook it that way, I can eat that. But not when it's a bangus fish. Not when I have to like open it and then I pick the bones, and I don't touch that. I don't touch that, HD. You're welcome. All right, Kevin. Lucita. Happy day for us yesterday. We are proud. I know, I'll forget to mention that. I saw that. Great grandparents of a baby boy. Abraham. Oh, good name, Abraham. All right. Brian Nuker. Air Force. Yes. I served active duty 20 years in the United States Air Force. That's how I got my United States citizenship. When I joined the Air Force, after being in 2 years in the United States Air Force, I became a United States citizen. I eventually learned to detect the bones in my mouth and then separate it with my tongue. Yeah, I see people doing that. I think Dazel does that too, HD. But I'm not brave enough, man. I'm not brave enough. If you get at least 1K, you should be able to retire with that. That is if you're frugal with that amount. That's the thing, man. That's the thing, HD. It's like, and that's why I was trying to point out to the gentleman in California. It's like, You can retire on a small amount in the Philippines. Many people do. I see many people do here in the province, and many people retire on a small amount of Social Security here. But you got to be frugal. You got to start, removing that excess lifestyle in the United States. It's like, like again, even let's say you're getting 1,000 or 1,200, you need to at least put away $200 of that every month so you can build your nest egg. You can build like a emergency fund. You don't want to. I was telling him, you don't want to be in a situation in the Philippines where you're paycheck to paycheck. You don't want. And then the more I asked him, banking, money transfer, he wasn't knowledgeable yet on all those. So I was telling him, he might have been watching videos, but to me, if you're moving to another country, you really have to get your ducks in line. You really understand the process. I would have like a journal. I would write down things like banking. How will I handle banking? Or how will I handle medical care? Or housing? Or my budget? You can't just because you've been watching videos of the Philippines, you're ready to go. No, me, man. When I was planning out my retirement here in the Philippines, I had an Excel spreadsheet. I had budget lined up already of my expenses every month. How I was gonna do it. It's like I had it all planned out. It's like you got to plan your retirement if you want to make it here. And then that's not even counting what once you get here, the things that will be challenging. It's not going to be the same. You got to have a lot of patience here when it comes to like even getting your driver's license. The visa process has improved. It's a lot easier now. It's not like it used to be. Because more and more people are moving here, more and more people. It's even like finding housing, because of the internet, Facebook Marketplace, and things like that. So things have improved in that way, but you still need a lot of patience in the Philippines because everything moves here slow. Nothing happens here fast. If you have any dealing with like a government agency here in the Philippines, things take time here. Everything takes time. He need to stay there at least 6 months before selling every Philippine. And I agree, and that's what I was telling him. If the Philippines is not for everyone, and I also tell him he's got to have a backup plan. What if you get here? Because I was trying to explain to him, even like the heat. He mentioned to me that California's it gets hot in California. Philippines is a different kind of heat. And then I was telling him, in the U.S., when you live in the U.S., I lived in Arizona, I lived in the desert, but most of the time, I'm in an air-conditioned building working, or at home, I have a thermostat that my house is always at a certain temperature, nice and cool. Here in the Philippines, most houses here aren't like, we don't have central air. I mean, some people do, if you can afford it, but electricity is expensive in the Philippines. For me, like even my tiny house, if I AC the house all day, my electric bill would be like through the roof, and I wouldn't do that. Most of us, we adapt. We wear like board shorts and like a tank top and fan. We run fans in the house or open the windows with window screen. But even little things like that people don't consider, when they get here. Are you going to be able to adjust to the heat in the Philippines? And then like the bugs, like the mosquitoes, the flies, stray dogs. There's a lot of. I mean, when you look at videos of people in the Philippines, of course we're gonna show you like we're having fun, we're in the beach, we're eating, but the stuff that you don't see, it's like. I'm not gonna film like a mosquito flying or a fly flying because but they're here, so it's an adjustment. But man, he from talking to him, he's like ready to go. He's ready to like get rid of everything in the U.S. I even asked him. I told him, don't you want to like go to the Philippines first for like 30 days? I guess because budget wise too, he was concerned about he can't afford to like do a recon is what I call it. Reconnaissance mission in the Philippines. 30 days is what I recommend. Visit a few places before you decide where you're gonna go to the Philippines. But I know people are jumping on that plane without, getting rid of all their stuff and then coming here, first time in the Philippines, landing here. I've seen it, I've seen it happen. I know people that has done that. Tita Marie, hi Ginno, super hot in Atlantic Canada, 35 Celsius there. Hope I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Tita Marie. Thank you for asking. Yeah, we got those temperatures here too about during summer. Now it's not bad. We're in the habagat season, breezy, more rain, so cooler temperature. I mean, when I say cooler, it's not like it's like in the 70s, 60s or 70s. I'm still talking about high 80s. High 80s here in the Philippines is cooler. Michael, I love milkfish, but I have my Filipina remove the bones for. Hey man, that's good. If you can get your Filipina to remove, I can see them. I know the bones are thin. The bones are thin and small. For 1K, you need to live like a local. Rice for every meal with vinegar and soy sauce. No, not necessarily, Tita Marie. It's like we've lived with a $1,000 budget in the past. Now, it's a little bit more now because now we have Leanne and Mom. There's 4 people. But when Dazel and I, before, when it was just the 2 of us, we lived lower than $1,000 a month. No, I would say 2016 when we first got married, because our main expense is like the housing, and we covered that because our mortgage is like $200 a month. So on $1,000 budget, that still leaves us like $800, which is still that is still close to 50,000 pesos. Not many Filipinos earn 50,000 pesos, Tita Marie. That's why I say you can easily. And it's not like we ate like vinegar and soy sauce. No, we shop. There's fish, there's vegetables, there's chicken. I mean, beef is expensive, so we don't eat much beef. But we stick to like what's affordable. And I'm frugal. Everything, as long as you run a good budget, you can live on 1,000. You can live on 1,000, especially if you're single, if you're one person, because 1,000 pesos right now at the exchange rate is 56,000 pesos, and that's way above what Filipinos make here. Many Filipino families live on half of that or even less. So you can. The main thing is because you can save money on rent. Like my friend Ruben, I found him an apartment in Calibo, a furnished studio apartment, and he pays 8,000 pesos a month for a furnished apartment. So that's let me do my calculator. I can't compute it real fast on my head, but so at the exchange rate right now 8,000 pesos. His rent is $142. So and then electricity might run him another 3,000, maybe $55 a month. So for less than $200, he's got his apartment covered with the electricity. So in one person, if you eat, I mean, he doesn't even have to cook. I know Ruben doesn't cook. He just goes to the carinderias, and the carinderias, to me, they're healthy. I mean, they're not fast food. If you go to the carinderia, a lot of times you see them cooking the food in like this big wok. The big woks, they're cooking it, and they'll pour it in a container, and that's where you scoop, like cafeteria style eating. And I know my friend Ruben, he tells me when he has to go to carinderia for lunch, he knows the time to go. That way, everything's still fresh, rice, everything's still hot from their cooking it. He always tells me he spends like $1.50 for lunch, $2 at the most. 120 pesos at the most for lunch. So that's why it's doable. It's very doable here. That's why I said if you're getting $1,000, that amount, you can actually put away 200 of that every month and live. Of course, you're putting away that $200. That way you have an emergency fund just in case you get sick. That's the biggest thing. It's like, because we're all getting older. That's the biggest issue is medical care. That's the one dynamic here in the Philippines that can ruin your retirement, can ruin, that's why, if you can get medical insurance, there's Pacific Cross medical insurance here in the Philippines. Michael Onstead, he's the guy that does the insurance here in the Philippines. I know it's not cheap. It's not cheap to get insurance. It's not cheap to get insurance anywhere. Like even the U.S. I know insurance is not cheap. So. But it could be done. It could be done on $1,000, Tita Marie. Many people here are retired on that money. You're ex-military dude of the United States. What kind of training did you do? In the Air Force, standard in the Air Force, we all go through basic training, is what it's called. Basic training at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. It lasts about 2 months. And physical training, push-ups, running, mental, they're trying to teach us how to march. We have a book that we have to study, and our drill instructors will ask us regarding the rank in the Air Force, the history of the Air Force, the mission of the Air Force. So basically 2 months of indoctrination in the United States Air Force. Basically, they want to break you down and make you a soldier is what they do. And then after that, we get trained on whatever job we will do in the Air Force. Like me, I was a medical administrative specialist. So my 20 years was spent working in hospitals and clinics. I got a lot of medical training, CPR, self-aid and buddy care, triage, those kind of training in the military. Tita Marie, that's 12,000 annually. 12,000. The average annual income in the Philippines is 7.5K. That is almost twice the average Philippine income without working. Thank you. Great information, HD. Thank you so much, HD, for adding that on. That's what I said, when I said that income, that 56,000 pesos, many Filipinos don't be happy to get half of that. To here, I know many people. We have relatives here in Boracay, in mainland Aklan, Dazel's relatives that make a third of that. So it's like because I know Americans, I know Western people. They're spoiled. They're spoiled, man. They live that. It's kind of like. That's why I was telling the gentleman in California, if you're coming here on a budget retirement, you need to be frugal and change your ways. Get that American mindset, You can't be landing in the Philippines and the first thing you want to get is a new motorbike and a 55-inch screen TV. You got to get out of that mentality if you come here. Now, if you got money, you go for it. If you come here with a big pension, you got a lot of money, why not? Build buy all the stuff that you want. But if if you're coming here on a budget, the 55-inch TV might not be a good plan, not be a good choice as far as being on the budget. Sometimes it works out. I sold everything and moved here, having never visited before. I am very adaptable and love the life. It happens. It happens, Michael. I think it just depends on the person. Like for you, it worked out because I'm sure when you got here, you recognize you're going to spend all their money. They all of a sudden they're treating people, giving big tip, going out. And nothing wrong with that. But like I said, there's something to be said about being frugal, living a more minimalist lifestyle. That way, your retirement can last longer. You're able to build a nest egg if you do that. But I'm happy to hear. Thank you for sharing that, Michael. That And I know many people are, like I said, I know many people here on $1,000 budget. I know many people here are able to retire and have a good life here. A lot of times, what people find out is just what makes people happy here in the Philippines. Like for me, anyway, I know what make is just a peace, having peace and just peaceful, laid back. Laid back. People don't get bent out of shape here. I know I don't talk politics or religion on the channel. I don't, but you don't see that here in the Philippines. Filipinos, they hardly talk about politics here because, man, they're trying to put food on the table. That's their main concern here in the Philippines. They're like, it's a struggle here for Filipinos to put food on the table for their family. Last thing they want to worry about is politics. A hack for me when I'm in the field is wearing dry fit clothing. Yeah, I start doing that. I start doing people have been giving me a dry fit, that Under Armour, I wore it when I was in the military towards the end of my career, the wicking clothes, that started coming out. And people had given me that. I know my friend Reggie from Canada, he got me that shirt, and my friend Chris got me that dry fit clothing. So I have a few dry fit clothes, and my sister too. My sister gave me I never buy anything here. It's like I don't buy clothes. I don't buy shoes because Dazel gets all my clothes at Ukay, the thrift store. And then now I never have to buy any t-shirts because people give me t-shirts when they come as a gift, So I have so many t-shirts now. And my board shorts, Dazel buys them from the Ukay, the thrift store. She never pays more than 200 pesos for my board shorts. And I have I would say I have about 10 board shorts, and I just interchange them. It's like I don't buy new clothing. It's like I don't shop at the mall. Even my running shoes, I have one running shoes, Skechers that Dazzle bought for me for I think Christmas or my birthday, and that's the only shoe I wear. I have a backup that my friend Joel in Arizona, he got me a New Balance. I haven't even worn it. I'm gonna wear out my Skechers when my Skechers is done. I'm wearing the New Balance that my friend Joel got me. That's how frugal I am. It's like if you notice, on all our videos, I'm pretty much wearing the same shirts, those Air Force shirts that I wear that people give me. It's like because to me. No longer important to me the way I dress, the way I look. It's not a big thing to me. I've worn suits before. I've worked in hospitals before. I've worn tie, long sleeve shirt all the time, dress clothes. I have none of that now. I have one pair of jeans that I rarely wear, and I have one khaki pants. I have two pants, and that khaki pants I only kept it because like when I attended the wedding, James and Karen's Adventures wedding last month in May, I wore my khaki pants. The last time I wore that khaki pants is when I got married to Dazzle 9 years ago. That's how often I wear pants now. I'm always just wearing board shorts. That's kind of like, if you see me here in the Philippines, I'm in board shorts, guaranteed, because that's all I wear. You need to start your financial move. There are right banks that allow overseas use over a year before your move. Just my chart open, it's not transfer fund. That's the thing, Daniel. I was telling the gentleman in California, when I start quizzing him on how prepared he was to come to the Philippines, I didn't think he was prepared because I start asking him, how would you handle your banking and things like that? And he had no answer. So to me, he's not ready, is what I'm saying. That's why I have to convince him about that he's not ready. He just wants to jump on the plane. He wants to be here by October. And I told him, I just don't think he's ready. You got to be ready to come here. You got, to be successful, in my opinion, anyway. Vegas will. If you can't recon 30 days, then you will be in trouble, and you won't be ready unless you're young. I mean, There's been people that's been able to do it, like Michael, it's like on the first trip. And I know, like, my friend Frederick in Iloilo City, he never been outside the U.S. and he just jumped on a plane and he's good to go. He's been here a year now. There are people that make it, but I think you're reducing your chances of being successful in the Philippines just by not doing your research. Watching videos to me is not enough research. It's really, you got to get into the nuts and bolts. You got to like start checking banking. How are you going to handle banking? I asked the gentleman, do you have a Remitly account? Do you have a Zoom account? Do you have a Wise account? He never heard of them. So I'm like, dude, you gotta have a ways to like get your money in the United States. And then I told him, since he's still in the United States, open at least 2 bank accounts, because I've been hearing, I don't know the truth to this, of banks in the US closing your bank account if they find out that you're in the Philippines. It doesn't sound right to me, because I have a bank account in the US. I've maintained an address in the US, my relative's address. So I don't know if it's right, but it doesn't hurt to open 2 separate banks, right? In case one bank closes, you still have a backup bank. To me, if I was leaving the United States right now, I would have multiple options to access my money in the US. I wouldn't rely on just my bank account and my ATM, using my ATM in the Philippines. Like he was thinking, he asked me, I can use my ATM there, right? Yes, you can use your ATM, but what happens if that ATM doesn't work? Or what happens if they get destroyed or you lose that ATM? It's a challenge to get an ATM from the US to the Philippines. How would you manage that? Because the Philippine Postal Service is like terrible. If you send a credit card or a debit card or anything in the mail, that might get lost, or it'll take months to get here. So, he hasn't researched those kind of things. That's why I think he's got a lot of work still before he heads this way. Many hours, weeks later, no one knows why. Yeah, Daniel, and that's what I'm hearing. You're not understanding why they would close the account. So, I don't have the information, because that's happening in the US. In Canadian currency, you have a weaker dollar. All right, my bad, Jeremy. So it's lower than $1,000 US. Yeah, I mean, if it's less than $1,000, that's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight here in the Philippines to retire on if it's like $800, something like that. That would be tight. It's still doable. I know there's still people, but you would have to start living more like a Filipino, like you said. You can't be expecting like all the air conditioning and hot water and steaks, and you have Filipinos, they just know how to live. It's the way of living here. It's like to live on less. Live on less. It's a bit doable. 41. That's like 730. Yeah. It's gonna be tight. The HD 730. It's doable now. Again, it just depends on the person. It depends on the person. I just watched a video the other day. This American moved here to the Philippines, and he lives way below that budget, because he's even doing like the barangay tanod in his neighborhood. He joined the locals have embraced him, and he's like doing barangay tanod. I was impressed. I was like, now he can survive on that money, because like he's living in like Filipino style housing. But not all can live like that, though. Not all can live like that. A huge help is a book, 300 pages, called Fly Me to the Philippines. It covers you should know. Oh, nice. I'm going to take a picture of that. 300 pages. That is kind of cool, man. I didn't know they have, Yeah, it makes sense for somebody to come out with a book. Fly Me to the Philippines. All right, let's take a picture of that. So I will look into that. $200 rent. I pay $3,000 on my monthly mortgage, but our standard is higher. Depends how you want to live. All the best to those. Yes, exactly, Tita Mir. And I often mention that, some people can live on a lot less money, and then they get criticized. You hear them, it's like that's just surviving, But we all live differently, It's like we all live on different budgets. We all have different priorities, It's like I know many people come here to the Philippines that can't live like the Filipino way, that they have, the only place for them is BGC in Manila in a nice condo, a $2,000 condo. Nothing wrong with that. If you can afford it, nothing wrong with that. It's like, Carinderia is very economical and doable, especially if you are single. Really will just depend on the lifestyle you want to live, and if you want to be in a province or the city. You are so right. I can give you an example, JB. That's why when I retired here in 2011, I chose Boracay Island. People were saying Boracay, even now, people are saying, why would you retire in Boracay? That's a tourist area. That's expensive. There's ways to retire here in Boracay where it's not expensive, and I did that. Lived here in Boracay for 18 months. My apartment, this was back in 2011, was 10,000 pesos. So less than 200. And even this apartment here, this Airbnb in Diniwid, of course, inflation and all that, that was like 14 years ago. Like, let's say this Airbnb, it's listed at 20,000 pesos a month. So that's about $350 a month. If I was single and I took this apartment here in Boracay, I would do it. If I had $1,000 budget, I know I can do 350. That would still leave me with $650 a month living expense. And I know I can do that here in Boracay because of the Carinderia, because I'm not extravagant. It's like I don't need money for clothes. I don't need money for transportation. I would just have a bicycle because my 18 months here in Boracay, I had a bicycle. I had a mountain bike. No car insurance, no car payment, no nothing like that. So even with this apartment and my meals here in Boracay during that time in 2011, I would spend $1 for my meals. And I would be eating Carinderia, and back then on White Beach, Micaela was my favorite. I get my Carinderia food at Micaela, and I'm sitting on White Beach, looking at the ocean while I eat my breakfast. To me, that's priceless to me because I'm a simple person. It's like the beach just like clears my mind. I love watching the waves, hearing the smell of the ocean. I love while I'm eating my Carinderia food, I got my feet in the sand, or I can be sitting in the sand. I just love that experience. So that's why it was doable for me. And even now, if I want to do it, I know I can do it because I can eat at the Carinderia here, buy my food at the sari-sari store. But again, I know not everybody can live like that. And for me, my entertainment was the beach. My entertainment was riding my mountain bike. I was like the healthiest I've ever been. I was the fittest I've ever been. The hills here in Boracay were challenging on my bike, but it made me fit. I ran on the beach, I mountain bike all day, I swam in the ocean. So that was my entertainment. I didn't need money for entertainment. That was my entertainment. So many people I know here in Boracay, it's a tourist destination, but you don't need to live like a tourist here. People will always discourage you about Boracay and tell you, man, it's expensive there. It's a tourist trap. To me, it is nonsense. It's a tourist trap if you go to White Beach. White Beach is kind of like the Waikiki in Boracay Island. That's where the big hotels, the Henan hotels, Discovery Shore, Lind, Mandarin. That's where all those big hotels are, restaurants, expensive restaurants. Yeah, you can't live on 1,000 if you live on White Beach. But if you live here in Diniwid, if you live by Puka Beach, all the Tambisaan Beach where the locals live, man, 56,000 pesos, man. The locals will like, they'll be like, what? You make that kind of money? You know, it's like, they'll be like, it is doable here. As a matter of fact, I watched a video. Yesterday. I think it's Vagabond, something, but the couple that's like, he's an American, he travels all over the world, and his, I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend, Asian lady, they travel all, and he listed his top 10. I mean, he's traveled like 84 countries. He's been everywhere in the Philippines, and he listed like for 2026 the top 10 retirement destination in the Philippines, and he named Boracay number 1. That's, to me, that gotta tell you something about Boracay. Why I love Boracay, why I come here for a month, why I enjoy Boracay, because I don't get the tourist trap when I'm here in Boracay. I get what the locals experience here. We can afford to live comfortably, however, we don't want to lose our medical benefits here. We only live in the PAs. Yes, that's the smart move, Tita Marie. And I always tell that to people, you know, it's like the minute I interview somebody, the minute somebody asks for my help, my recommendation, first thing I ask them is the medical. You know, how is your health? Do you have insurance? How are you going to cover medical expenses? Because I have medical background. I have over 27 years working in hospitals. So I know how important it is, especially as we get older. You know I have friends in the US. They're married to Filipina, and the only thing that's holding them back for completely moving here to the Philippines is their Medicare. They don't trust the medical system here in the Philippines, and nothing wrong with that. You know, if you're not comfortable about the medical treatment that you're going to get in the Philippines, why move here? You know, you have to be like totally comfortable with what kind of medical care you would get here before moving here. You know, to me that just makes sense. You know, why would you move to a country where I don't trust their medical system? I might die there. You know, it's like, why would you move there? You know. Bye everyone. All right, thank you for joining the live stream, Kevin Shores. Appreciate you. Tita Marie, I appreciate your advices and opinion. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Tita Marie, for being on the. And this is just open communication. You know, I don't look at myself as a know-it-all. You know, it's like you can tell me if I'm wrong, and I would take that. You know, I was like, you know, we're sharing information. All I'm trying to do is helping people make the right decision coming to the Philippines. The Philippines is not for everyone. You know, it's like I have told people before that I don't think it's a good idea for you to come to the Philippines because you don't have enough money, you're too sick, or you're gonna require too much medical care here. Biggest thing here is like, if you're not healthy, the Philippines is not a good place to be, because if you don't have insurance and you come here and you're not healthy and you need a lot of medical care, that the bills here can rack up fast. That can deplete your savings here. Ginno, my husband's favorite shirts are Harley Davidson. All right, I've never ridden a Harley. My mom never allowed me actually to ride a motorbike. The first time I rode a motorbike was when I bought the 125cc Yamaha Mio I that's on Bumblebee. I've never ridden a motorbike in my life, and when I bought it from the dealership, I was kind of worried because like I got good balance. I got good balance because I'm a cyclist, but I've never ridden a scooter, motorbike, and my Yamaha 125 is all automatic. I don't know how to ride a motorcycle like that, how to work that clutch. I don't know how to do that, but I was able to get the bike home. You know, it was funny because like I had to ride it from Calibo to Numancia, our house. This was in 2016, and it's only like 3 miles, so it's not a long ride on the motorbike. I had my helmet, I had like reflector. I was nervous, man. I was going slow on the side of the road. And then when I got it to our subdivision at the time, there was only like 6 houses in our subdivision, so a lot of empty space. I was practicing that motorbike, the motorbike. Till finally I said, man, I just couldn't get comfortable. I mean, I know I could ride the scooter. My problem was in traffic. because like the scooters here, when you're in traffic, you're tight with cars. I mean, there's like groups of motorbikes around you, so that's why I put the sidecar. That's why it became Bumblebee, because I was like, man, I might not survive riding a motorbike in the Philippines. That's why we put a sidecar on it. Every state we go, he had to get. Oh, that's so cool! So he collects Harley Davidson. That's awesome, man. That's an awesome collection there of Harley Davidson. I know how Harley Davidson guys are. I know, I mean, those are expensive motorcycles. I know I mean, they got the whole leather thing, that like the jacket with the names on the back. Those are cool. You do see them here, actually. I know there's a Harley Davidson in a motorcycle place in Manila. And I've seen when we went to Dumaguete City, I saw there's guys. We went to this restaurant in Dumaguete City, kind of like outdoor restaurant, and there was like Harley Davidson's parked outside. I was impressed. I was like, man, those are nice bikes. And seems seen some that are surprised to discover that Philippines is hot and humid, a tropical area. I know. And even my friend, my friend that's in Canada, David, he, it's hot right now in Canada where he's at. He told me, but when he went to Balete, Aklan for a month, he said he's never experienced that kind of heat. It surprises people, like when the Philippines, especially if you come to the Philippines like summertime, like March, April, May, the minute you land at Manila International Airport, you go outside the airport, you're gonna feel that heat. You're gonna feel that, whoa, this is a different kind of heat, man. Hey, JP, hello, I finally made it. All right, JP. I still got time here. I'll keep the live stream going, man. So you're good. You made it just in time, brother. I fight with going minimal or doing nucos just for adjustment. Yeah, I understand. I'll help you with that, Edgar. If you come here to our area, Aklan province, I'll help you with that. My recommendation, probably when you come here, that way I can assist you. Start with an Airbnb. Maybe rent the Airbnb for 1 month, and then from there we'll look at your other choices. That way you can make the right decision. It's one thing to see something on a video, but when you're actually there, when actually living there, that's why I tell people, when you come here, don't sign those 6-month lease, 1-year lease. Yeah, you don't have to do that here. I have rented 2 apartments here, one here in Boracay for 18 months, one in Calibo for 4 years. I never signed a lease. I always pay month to month because I always want that option to, like, if I don't like it, if some guy moves next door to me and plays loud music or karaoke every night, I can leave. I can give my 30-day notice and say, hey, I'm moving out. You might have to pay a little extra for month to month, but to me, it's worth it. It's worth it to pay that little extra to get that month to month rent. And like I said on our videos on the live stream here, everything here in the Philippines is negotiable. As an expat, as a foreigner coming in here, you actually have good bargaining power because a lot of these furnished apartments, furnished Airbnbs, not many Filipinos can afford them, or if they can afford them, some struggle, some get behind on rent. These landlords here in the Philippines, they know if you're an expat foreigner, chances are you have money. Chances are you don't want to get in trouble. If you don't pay your rent, all they got to do is report you to the barangay, and that might cause trouble with your tourist visa. And they know that. They know that foreigners here are on time with rent, on time with the electric bill, on time with everything. Because when you're on a visa here, tourist visa especially, you don't want to do anything wrong. You don't want to keep your stay here in the Philippines, and that's why you have bargaining power. You have. I know some rentals will ask like 2 months advance deposit. Some will ask 1 month deposit, but everything is negotiable. And then depending on the season, like here in Boracay, there's off season here and there's peak season. January to June, that's peak season. The landlords here, they know they can rent their places, so they can raise the rent. They can because people vacation here during the summer. But off season, if you get here July to December, the occupancy in Boracay drops. So you got bargaining power, and I'll help you through that process, Edgar. Don't worry, man. I'll take care of you if you come here. HD. GP, all right. Hey, Jimbo, Chief, retired Chief Master Sergeant in Lipa, Batangas. He just got back from his trip in Japan. He was touring Japan. He sent me links to like videos of Japan. They're just awesome. I love seeing that Nusano Hotel, Chief. It didn't change, man. It's like that the Nusano Hotel looks the same it was like in 2004, which is kind of funny. It's like, man, they got some dated stuff in there at the Nusano, but it's a great place to stay because it's rated depending on your rank. That's why I stayed there. It's like it was the cheapest place to stay in Tokyo. My fellow Air Force brother, drinking some local Barako. Whoa, Barako coffee. All right. Good to see. All right, thank you, Chief. Appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed Japan. I saw you hiking up them stairs, Chief. I was wondering if you're gonna make it. I knew you took a detour on the stairs, but you made it to the top. You made it to the top with that good view of Fuji, Mount Fuji. JP, when I first decided to retire in the Philippines, I bookmarked the PHP to USD conversion page. I still guess the USD price to see how much every time I see a Philippine price. Hey, good thing, man. And you will know, JP, that you will know that you've assimilated to the Philippines when you stop comparing price in the I do it just because of the videos. I do it because I want to point out the difference. That way people can picture how much it costs in dollars. But you will know that you've like become a Filipino, more Filipino when you start thinking of US, comparing the prices, and then just look at Philippine prices. A lot of times, JP, a lot of people struggle here in the Philippines. Not really struggle, but it's an adjustment because coming from the US, everything is kind of like a tipping culture. Everybody tips in the US. It's polite to tip. Here in the Philippines, it's not necessary. I mean, it's appreciated if you tip. Like, if I eat at Carinderia, JP, I never tip. You never tip at Carinderia here. It's not, I mean, if I leave money in the Carinderia, they're gonna be like, sir, you forgot your money. They're gonna chase you on the road. Sir, you forgot your change. They're gonna do that. So it's not a tipping culture here. But if you do tip, it's appreciated. A lot of the big restaurants here, if you go to a fancy restaurant like the Mandarin or Discovery Shores, and you gotta check this. Because I told that to my friend Ray. If you go to the fancy restaurants in the Philippines, they'll put a service charge on your bill. And sometimes if when you look at your bill, sometimes you just look at the total amount, the peso amount. But I always check. If there's a service charge that they put on your bill, no tip required. Unless you really want to tip the server, because they're already charging your service charge. So it's understood here that it's not like, that's kind of like a mandatory tip there already when they put service charge. So they're already taking their tip. So you don't have to give an additional tip. Again, the Philippines is not a tipping culture. Like, even when I get a haircut, I get, my $2 haircut. I get my $2 haircut and I'll get $1 tip. When I give my $1 tip to the guy, he's almost like in shock, because Filipinos don't tip. If a Filipino got a haircut, chances are they're not gonna tip. So that's another thing that you'll adjust here. In the beginning, you're kind of loose with the tip, because you're used to tipping. It's kind, it's polite. Even my friend Ruben, he's been here now 6 months. He's living in the Philippines now, 6 months in Calibo. He's in Dumaguete right now. Then he's gonna travel to Angeles City on Friday. Then he'll be back here in Calibo. He's kind of like doing the tour thing, enjoying the Philippines, different areas of the Philippines. When he first got here, he was tipping the tricycle guy. I was telling Ruben, you ain't gotta tip the tricycle guy. He rode a tricycle in Calibo. The fare for the tricycle is like 10 pesos, a tricycle take you anywhere, right? And Ruben's giving them like a 10 pesos, doubling the tip. Keep the change on a 20. And I said that, Ruben. And now he's learning that, you don't have to tip the tricycle guy or the jeepney. When you ride the jeepney, tip is not required. JB, the book is #1, Travel on Amazon. Really? Wow, cool. Thank you, Daniel. I would like to read that book, just see, why did you move from Boracay to Calibo? Oh, good question. After 18 months, Michael, my thing was, of course, I decided to use my GI Bill, was one of the reasons. But I could have, came back to Boracay. The thing was, after living 18 months in Boracay, you kind of get like a island lock. I don't know what the word is. I would take my mountain. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a motorcycle. So every time I left the island, Boracay Island, during those 18 months, like I would go to Iloilo, or I went to Rojas. I took a trip to Baguio. I would always take a bus. and an airplane. But I kind of miss driving. I kind of miss driving a car because I was like, I like long drive. I like, that's one of my things. I enjoy, like, ever since Arwego, I've taken Arwego to Luzon, traveled Luzon, Negros Island. It's like here in Panay Island. I miss that. I miss the driving part, and then just access to like Iloilo City. Like going to SNR. It was a challenge coming from Boracay. You got to ride the ferry and you got to get on a bus, and it took the bus like 6 hours to get to Iloilo City. It was just nice to be able to drive again. But actually, if I hadn't met Dazel in college those 4 years, I would have probably went back to Boracay after graduation, because I had 2 apartments at one time. I kept my apartment here in Boracay, and I went to school in Calibo. So because my rent here in Boracay was like less than $200, and my rent in Calibo was like $125, $130. In the military, when I went to college for 4 years, for the 9 months of school every year, I was getting like $1,500 housing allowance. So it more than covered both places. I finally got rid of the Boracay, my apartment here, just because once I started school, I got busy with school, and then it became a challenge. Like Monday to Friday, I would go to school. Then I would spend the weekend, Saturday, Sunday in Boracay. Then I said, after a while, and then I met Dazel. We started dating in college. So I was like, gave up my apartment here in Boracay. But had I not gotten to know Dazel, and then Dazel and I, we got married when we graduated college in 2016. And that's why we decided to buy a house in mainland Aklan. If I wasn't married, I would have jumped back here to Boracay. I would have lived here in Boracay for sure, because I just love Boracay, and I know we'll end up here. I know now that I'm nearing getting my Social Security, that will be another pension for me. I'm within 3 years of turning 62. Once I get that, chances are we'll just rent. There's no way I couldn't afford anyway. I couldn't afford the land here or the condos here or whatever. I would just rent here in Boracay, because I know cheap rentals here in Boracay. And my friend, actually Lawrence, he lives in Makati. He sent me a message the other day because he watched up my video, and he was saying, he warned me about buying property here in Boracay, and I know all about that. I know all about. I would not recommend buying any property here in Boracay, except maybe the New Coast, just because it's a condominium. But the land here, there's horror stories here because one of the big horror stories here in Boracay is like when they did the Boracay closure in about 5-6 years ago when they closed Boracay. There was a lot of foreigners that bought like they built the condos in areas here they considered that the Department of Environmental people, they recovered the land. I guess whoever built the condo or the housing built it on land where they weren't supposed to build, like forest land. They considered forest land. And the government locked them out of their places. These were people from Canada, people from abroad that lost their property during the closure. So that's another story. But I would never buy land here in Boracay or anything. Too many disputes. A lot of the land here in Boracay, they're not titled anyway. They're like tax declaration. So that's another issue. It's very confusing. Several people can claim the land and disputes and all that. So very risky. I always tell people anyway, don't buy land in the Philippines or don't build a house on somebody else's land here. Too many things can go sideways with that. Too many, if you're gonna buy property, it's safe to buy it in like a subdivision because the subdivisions have titles and all that. But anything outside the subdivision, you're playing with fire. There's a lot of issues that can go wrong here buying land here in the Philippines. One of Ginno's superpowers is practical. Very good decisions. Oh, thank you for the kind words, JP. It's funny as we get older, the more simple we become. For most people, yes, for me, that's the truth. It's like I was the same like everybody else when I lived in the U.S. I had a Mustang. I drove a Mustang. I wore Air Jordans. I bought expensive clothes. I wore suits. I had ties. When I went to work, I was always dressed nice. I spent over $20 on a haircut. But that's the life in the U.S. That's how I thought everybody lived. That's how I wasn't living frugal at all when I was living in the United States because I had a military pension. I had a good job, good paying job at St. Mary's Hospital. So I thought that was the life. I would take vacation in Cancun. I would go to vacation in Vegas. I would hang out with friends. But it changed once I moved to the Philippines because I knew I had to be more frugal. I had to be more minimalist because I was just going to live on my military pension alone. So I wanted to make sure that I was successful here. And that's the message I try to tell people when I talk to them. It's like, it's better if you live below your means once you're retired here in the Philippines. That way you can be more successful. I see people all the time and I just shake my head. It's like even I belong on several expat groups and you see these guys. My pension, my take home. They'll list the exact amount. It's $6,000 a month. I'm like, dude, do you know that you just announced to the world that how much money you're gonna be bringing to the Philippines and they know your picture and they know your name? Man, you could be an easy target for scammers here in the Philippines for that. I was always told anyway, never divulge anything monetarily as far as finances. Keep your finances private. That's to me. I thought everybody knew that. I don't think anybody it's like that. But I see it all the time on Facebook. I'm like, I'm arriving in Cebu City 1 July, and I'm looking for an apartment. This is my budget. 2,000 is my budget for my. I'm like, dude, you're announcing to the world that you got a lot of money and you're coming to the Philippines. Yes, JP. You're spot on. Ginno's perspective of Philippines is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the live stream. I'll keep doing the live streams. It's like, people seem to be happy with the live streams and I'm getting positive feedback. That's why I keep doing them. Regardless of or your income, it's not about what you have. It's about what you do with it. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. We have the same, we're kindred spirits, my brother. I'm learning on a few 1 or 2 week vacation in Boracay and live in a clan or copies. All right, JP. That's a good plan. You're gonna enjoy Panay Island. You know, it's like Boracay, Aklan, Capiz. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy our area. That's my okay. Alejandro, Rib Shack looks very yummy, buddy, and cheap. $3. We'll try it when we go back. Oh, for sure, Alejandro. Good food. One of my favorite. One of my favorite here in the Philippines. If you are visiting BGC, how will you do that? Since it's hard for, I've already thought about that. I've already thought about that, Vegas will. In Katiklan, we can catch a ferry. We can catch a ferry at Katiklan. It'll land us in Batangas. We've actually taken that ferry before with our car. We took our car because we spent a month in Luzon. So we drove all over Luzon, from the southern tip of Luzon to all the way to like the northern, like in Ilocos Norte, Pagudpod Beach. You know, we traveled Baguio City, Vegan. I mean, we traveled for those 30 days. So that would be the plan. It's like we'll catch the ferry from, but we won't bring our car this time. We're just gonna catch the ferry from Katiklan, land in Batangas. Since we already know the process, we've been there before. It takes 12 hours on the ferry. We'll probably just get our own cabin. The own cabin before cost like 5,000 pesos. It's kind of like a hotel. Got a bathroom, your own queen size bed TV, a porthole, so almost kind of like a mini cruise. And then once we get to Batangas, take the bus from Batangas to Makati or to Cubao. And then once we're there, we can get to BGC by public transportation. And we have a place to stay in BGC because my friend, he's gonna purchase a 2-bedroom. So he offered, and another friend offered that they have a condo in Makati and there won't be there. You know, so there's people that are kind that's offering us a place to stay. You know, so that part at least we'll save money. We won't, you know, as far as the staying at a place is not going to be a problem. It's just getting there. And then, you know, of course, food, you know, when we get there. It'll be a good vacation. It'll be a good vacation for Dazel and I. We want to visit PA, so we meet you that. All right. And Mike, go for it. You know, we're all friends. You know, we all hang out. Like, I'm going to Karen's birthday next. We are going to Karen's birthday. Finally get to see their house because we actually haven't been inside James and Karen's house. James and Karen's Adventures YouTube channel. Subscribe to them if you haven't subscribed to them yet. We've seen their house from the highway. We actually on the way back, I kind of slowed down and there's James and Karen's house. Oh yeah, that's their house. Okay, so I know where they live. You know, it's up on a hill from the highway. You can see it's up on a hill there. So we'll see them for sure. And you know, Mike, ever since he opened the Canadian Beaver, we've taken people there. That's why. And Dazel and Kat, they're like, you know, super friends. I mean, they get along great, you know, so definitely if you come, you know, we'll take you there. We'll take you to the Canadian Beaver. We'll take you to James and Karen's place. We have a car, so it's not hard. It's not hard for us. And they're so close. James and Karen only live like 30 minutes from our house. And then for Michael and Kat, they only live less than 2 hours away from us. So it's not hard for us at all to see them. I ordered some sizes from Amazon. Magic Sarap. I don't use that stuff, man. I try, you know, because Magic Sarap is kind of like that. I think monosodium glutamates, you know, but I just don't use it in our cooking. Indang Cavite. Pamintang Pino smells like black pepper. Oh yeah, the really fine pepper. That Magic Sarap is similar. There used to be a brand called Ajinomoto that used to be the famous, and now Magic Sarap. You know, a lot of people use that here. It adds a lot of flavor, but I don't use it, man. I use Dash. because I have to watch everything with my health. And my friend in Arizona, Joel, they're so kind. They always make sure I have Dash. So I use Dash for everything because salt free, I guess. So I'm trying to be good, man, with my health and all that. I'm trying to I have looking at Rusi 250 instead. Ooh, man, 250cc. That's a big bike, man. You got power on that, JP. 250. Not a problem, and you'll have it. You get plenty of motorcycles to choose from here, JP. When you get it, I mean, motorcycle is the most common transportation here in our province of Aklan. There's more motorcycles than anything, and what's nice is with motorcycles, they can repair anything in motorcycles. There's so many mechanics that are good at repairing because they're so common. They know they can put together a motorcycle here for different parts from different kinds of motorcycles. I've even seen that. Ginno, maybe I will get you one of those camper trifocals, man. Man, those are cool, right, man? Those are awesome. I'm glad you sent me that video, man. That is so cool. It's like a 3-wheel camper. It's like, it was awesome. Daniel has sent me the video. Someday, man. Someday, someday, maybe someday. Tanya, hey Tanya, hello Tanya, welcome Tanya. Does the army base in Tokyo have an? I'm pretty sure, Daniel. All the military bases has like that MWR, morale, welfare, and recreation. I would almost 100%. If there's a base in Japan, it would have that travel office. It helps to look at the item cost in the local perspective. If you keep looking at American with USD, you'll spend, yes, right? And that's why I was inferring HD. You'll start thinking like a Filipino. You'll start, because like when you're looking at it as American price, the thing in your mind, oh, that's cheap. Once you start getting away from that mentality, you're gonna start thinking, oh, that's kind of pricey. Most Filipino, oh, that's kind of pricey. I can get it cheaper over there. How was the marriage process for you? I don't know what denomination both of you are, but that changes how the process goes according to church. Some require talking. It was easy process for us, HD, because what we just did a civil wedding. We had to attend a seminar. There was a seminar that we had to attend, and we got married by the mayor. So it wasn't a church wedding for Dazel and I. So it was a lot easier. I know with the church wedding, there's a lot of requirements and all that. But we did have to attend a seminar. I remember we had to attend a seminar. It was kind of fun in the seminar because we were there with other couples that were getting married, and it was kind of like funny. They were like, would having a 6-month or year lease help get an SRRB visa? I don't think it really would help. That's totally separate. The SSR, the visa, JP. I don't think it's I don't know offhand, but I don't think that would really. It wouldn't be like a difference getting the SRRB visa. You can't put an old head on young shoulders. Sounds like Ginno was the exception. You can't put the old head. I had to learn like everybody else, Joe Boyd. I made mistakes. It's like, trial and error when I first got here, because back in 2011, there wasn't any YouTube yet. It's like my biggest mistake was buying a used car. I bought a used car. It was not expensive. I think I paid $3,000. That was the first car I had here. I was like riding my bike for 3 years and I got tired. I said, it's time to get a car. So in 2014, I bought like a Honda Accord, a used Honda Accord, $3,000 I paid for it. Horrible car, man. That car was like the AC broke on it after like a few months and never worked again. I could never get the AC working. So I was driving around with the windows down in the heat here in the Philippines. But, finally I decided to just like save the money Yeah, we did have Bumblebee. We bought the motorbike 2016 and put the sidecar. So we had Bumblebee, and we just kept saving our money. And then in November 2018, we had saved enough money and we paid cash for a car, because that's other thing. If you have to buy a car here on credit, interest rates here are ridiculous. You know, it's like crazy. You end up paying twice the amount for a vehicle here. So not worth it, in my opinion, anyway. Unless you get your loan from the Navy Federal Credit Union in the US, then you're okay, because you're getting rates, US rates. Because many people do that, buy a vehicle here in the Philippines using the Navy Federal Credit Union in the US. But if you got to get it in the local bank here in the Philippines, and they kill you on the interest rates. You end up paying twice the amount for the car by the time you're done with the loan. Vladimir, not sure if you got that morbid joke. No, no, I did. I mean, man, I'm not well read like you, HD. Oh, okay, all right, all right. Thank you, thank you. How many of yours live in Aklan? Um, as far as subscribe, most of our subscriber, JP, are American, in Canada and US. I think the last time I looked, it was like 80% of our subscribers are in the United States or Canada or abroad. I guess because I kind of like, that's kind of like my niche. I kind of like target like the people that want to come here and help the people that come here. So the locals, the Filipinos, some like our videos, but it's not, they can't really relate when I talk about TRICARE insurance, medical care here in the Philippines. So but the ones that I have helped come to Panay Island, there's a few now. There's a few that's here because of our channel. There's a few subscribers of ours, like Ray, he's at the Nucos. Frank is in our community. Glenn is in our community. Frederick's in Iloilo. There's a few that's here. They were influenced by our channel to come to Aklan province. Dazel and Laura look so cute. Oh yeah, they're always so sweet. From the beginning, Lara, the last year when we first met them, Lara's always been close to Dazel, and every time now it's even more. She gets like, same thing with Kat. Every time Dazel and Kat see each other, like hugging on each other, like, oh, I'm glad I've seen you. They get, they're really good friends now. What do you think of quality of house built in your subdivision? In our subdivision, the quality is okay. I mean, when they built my house, my house only cost 1.5 million when it was built, so about $27,000. So man, that's just a car in the US, the way I look at it. But as far as the quality of the build, the foundation is solid. Everything's cement, everything's got rebar, but like the stuff they put on it, I had to replace. Like the doors that they put in it, the faucet, low quality. They cut on costs. So I had to replace. Even like the doorknobs, I replaced all of them when I moved in. I mean, it's just superficial. It's not expensive, and I had to get tile. Because when they turn over the house, the house was not tiled, so I had to install my own tile. But the foundation's solid. The roof is solid. It's like bolted to like the cement wall, so it ain't flying anywhere. We've been to like we've been to one super typhoon and strong winds, and our roof always held. So it's solidly built. The one thing I am noticing, because now our community is turned over to the HOA or in the process of turning HOA. It hasn't been maintained well like in the past. I guess that's a problem here in the Philippines. Once the HOA, people can't agree on the HOA, but the house itself, I'm happy. I'm happy with the house itself, especially the price that we got it. Because we got it in 2014 when the house is at 1.5 million, and the same house now in the same lot, because we own the lot. Well, the bank still owns it, but in 5 years we'll own it outright. the same size lot, same size house, you can't get it less than 2.2 million. So it's gone up in price. It's gone up in price. So, happy about that. And then in 5 years, it'll be ours. At least when I'm gone someday, Dazel will have her own house and own lot. And then I bought her property too in Katiklan. She's got land in Katiklan now. I'm just trying to set her up, because I'm older than Dazzle. I'm 29 years older than Dazzle. So I know, more likely I'll be gone before her. So I just want to make sure she has assets, she has money, for her to have a good life after I'm gone. I thought people are familiar with the story. I guess I've been exposed to too many things. I did. Information, travel tickets, army team. All right, Daniel, we have we have MWR too. I knew what you were talking about, Daniel. I've heard of ITT before. I've heard of that term, travel and tours. The thing with Two Heads movie, they added a white man's head on a black. Oh, okay. Ooh, man, I haven't seen those movies. All right, I'm gonna try to get through these things because I'm over the 2 hour mark now. Okay, MD morale, yeah, morale, welfare. Really love to see you. Go, Mampuji. All right. Have a good day, Ginno. Have a good day, John. Have a good day. Thank you for joining the live stream. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Ready to eat dinner. Take care. God bless, my brother. Salamat po. Walang anuman. HD old habits. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye. Take care. All right. Daniel, I was told much worse jokes in the military. Oh yeah, military jokes. That's mild. That's a mild joke, man. Dazzle and I will be in Iloilo the 7th to the 10th. So we're good. We're good on July 20. We'll be there. We'll be there for Karen's birthday. Yes, thank you. JB, same thing. The houses are solid. It's the finishing that's like they start skimping or like trying to save money on the finishing that's lacking. But easily replaced, right? Because the foundation is solid. Even if you're not happy with it, if they put tile in it, you can break all the tile and put the tile that you want. Same thing with me, like doors. I didn't like the doors. I replaced the doors, doorknobs, everything. It's like the sockets, even the electrical sockets were like cheaply made. So I had them all replaced. Do you really realize at 65 years old will take over your TRICARE and go from about 31 to over to ouch. Yeah. When I turn, I understand that, but but by that time, Daniel, I'll have Social Security, so I'm just happy I will still have coverage. That's the main thing for me, man. It's like the TRICARE doesn't bother me whatever they do as long as they have coverage here in the Philippines. I'm good. It's better than not having any coverage, having no insurance. My nurse would be happy in the social for around, but I'm not a social person. Hey, understand, man. Many people, try to like find a way away from people. I understand, my friend. Remember, there's a difference between getting sold the title and getting sold the deed. It would help the viewers to know the difference between two if decide. Yeah, that's why I always tell people, HD, don't buy here in the Philippines. Don't buy land, don't buy, house here. Too many things can go sideways with buying here. Just rent, You're retired anyway, it's like just rent and leave it at that because so many horror stories here in the Philippines regarding property. Brought a lot of finishings to finish my house at Clark. Also bought a lot of tools back to the Philippines to make finishing better. Yep, that's good, man. But like I tell people, if they're coming here, especially they haven't been here to the Philippines, I would rent at least for a year before even thinking of buying anything here in the Philippines. Have a great day. All right, I got to the bottom. All right, catch you guys. All right, take care. All right, take care, everyone. Again, appreciate everyone for joining the live stream this morning. Everyone have a good day and everyone have a blessed day. Take care, everyone.